Good morning, Becky.
Good morning, Bonnie.
Sorry, I got a little distracted. I was making faces at you right before we started, so just to see if you'd react. So, how are you today?
I am very good today. Thank you.
I'm trying not to be so loud. I sounded really loud last week, so I'm trying to be better. I just happen to be a loud voice.
Good luck with that, Bonnie.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. So, what yumminess do we have in front of us already this morning?
Well, what you see in front of you is the beginning of Snickerdoodle cookies.
Oh,
Do you like Snickerdoodle cookies?
I do like Snickerdoodles. Anything with cinnamon and all that fun stuff in it, I'm on.
Very fall. I've tried several Snickerdoodle recipes, and this is one that's my favorite. So I've made this several times. So I thought, you know what, better time to have a cookie. So that's our dessert today, is a cookie.
Well, I have the recipe says cinnamon pecan Snickerdoodles.
Yep.
So all that sounds perfect. So you show us how to make them.
Okay, I think the pecans just puts them over the top.
Yes.
A couple other things we're going to do today. We're actually going to use an air fryer. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. It's new for me. I've never used an air fryer before this weekend. So Bonnie and I are going to talk a little bit about the air fryer. But right now, we're going to do a cookie. And I didn't get brave enough to put it in the air fryer. I don't know.
No, I've not gone that far either. I love my air fryer personally, but I've not done cookies in it so far.
Okay. Well, I know I've seen scones and all kinds of stuff you could do in there. So maybe eventually I'll get there. Okay. Snickerdoodles is, of course, a cinnamon and sugar. Right. You make a dough is sort of like a sugar cookie dough. So I already pre-made it. So in one bowl, I combine 3 cups of flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 a teaspoon of salt. And I just sort of combine that.
Right.
In my mixer, I mix up 2 sticks of butter. No wonder it's so good. so 1 cup of butter, and then you let that beat till it's creamy, and then you add a cup of white sugar, and you let that all beat up together. A cup and a half of white sugar. I'm sorry. You let that beat up all together, and then you add 2 eggs, and you let that all cream together. Add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And that makes your cookie dough. I don't know.
So you're just your basic cookie dough. We're talking.
Basic cookie. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So when you got that done, in another bowl, you combine 1/3 cup of granulated sugar, a tablespoon of cinnamon, and you just mix it up, and it becomes just a little powder. So Snickerdoodles, you want to roll them in a ball. So I drop one in my hand, and I'll roll it up, and then I roll it in the cinnamon. Ooh. Just coat the whole sticky top with cinnamon and sugar.
Cinnamon sugar is not bad.
It's very good, especially with a nice cup of coffee.
So again, you have that coffee with that pumpkin sauce in it from Starbucks. That'll be good also.
That was really good last week too. Okay, so I've got my balls all rolled up. I actually got 12 of them.
You're fast. You're really fast.
I am really fast. What I'm going to do to this, a lot of Snickerdoodles, you just let them bake and they crack open and all that. But this one actually calls for a pecan shoved in the top. And so I'm going to shove that pecan in the top.
I like shoved in the top. That's fun.
I merge the two. It's
merge
like
the two?
It's like a marriage between a pecan and a Snickerdoodle.
That sounds better. They look pretty too.
Yeah. They make a nice gift too if you're looking. We will be looking towards Christmas. We'll probably be baking cookies that day. For the Christmas one, but this is one of them that I package up and it looks so nice. See those?
Oh, those look so nice. So when they cook, they're going to all flatten out and be beautiful.
Yep. We're going to stick that in the oven and that goes into a 350 oven, and I did about 15 minutes. It called 12 to 15, so I did them for 13, and it just quite wasn't long enough. You'll know when they're done. Here's a done pan. Look at that.
Oh, very nice.
The edge will be set. So that's just a perfect snickerdoodle. Perfect.
Yeah, the bottom's not too done. They're just perfect.
Now, I do use, they call them a silk pat. It's sort of like a little mesh silicone pat that you put, cover that you put in the bottom, and it keeps them from sticking. I have never had a cookie burn or stick on this thing. So it's
I don't have one of those. I'm going to have to invest.
Yeah, it's wonderful if you bake a lot of cookies. And you just wipe it off and it goes to the next. It just bakes them nice and even. Now you can use a piece of parchment paper in the bottom, which I've done before, and they don't stick. You could probably put them directly on your cookie sheet and it'd be okay, but I'd be afraid they might stick. But this just works out really well.
Those look perfect. They look perfect.
They are perfect.
That's a good tip. That's a good tip too. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. The dessert is done. We're now going to do a po' boy fish sandwich.
Okay.
Yeah. And like I said, this is my first round with the air fryer.
This sounds very ambitious.
It is ambitious. I don't know what I was thinking last week.
We're going to see.
Okay. So we're going to get our fish ready. I used a Pacific cod. I just got a frozen package at my store. And you have to have 3 bowls. We're gonna bread this fish. I'm sure you can put it in just like it is, but this one calls to bread it. And I did pat it dry, and it looks like it's all wet again. But anyway, I washed the fish and I pat it dry.
Okay.
And that's so everything will stick. In one bowl, I actually whisked up 1 egg and a tablespoon of water.
Okay.
In another bowl, I put in 1/4 cup of flour. And to that, I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder.
Okay. So these are all things you're going to dip it in, right?
Right. Because it makes like a crust on the outside. If you've ever had, a fish with that nice crust, that's what this will put on it.
No, I've never been this ambitious with my air fryer. So,
well, that might be why I struggle with it. We'll see. I actually did chicken breast sort of the same way, and it turned out really good. But I decided I wanted fish. And in the third bowl, I'm going to do 1/2 cup of Panko breadcrumbs. Panko is just it's a Japanese breadcrumb, and it's real dry and flaky. It's crunchy.
Okay.
So it makes it popping.
Now, can you buy that just at Kroger's?
Yes, at any store, any of the
Okay.
grocery. And then to that, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of cornmeal. And again, it's just yellow cornmeal.
Plain old cornmeal. Okay, gotcha.
So I've got that in another dish. So I'm going to take my fish and I'm going to dredge it in the flour. I need to put this in order. I'm going to dredge it in the flour. I think I'll do the.
Do some dredging. Go ahead and dredge.
Okay, I'm going to dredge that up. And then you just want to shake the excess flour off. Next, it will go into the egg mixture. And we're just going to coat it with the egg mixture. Okay. And then this is going to make the crumb stick. So I'm going to move it over into the breadcrumbs and the cornmeal and just make sure it all sticks. And that's just your crust. Okay. Okay. Now this is going to go in the air fryer. Let me wipe my fingers off real quick. Okay, I've heated, the air fryer up is preheated, and I'm going to preheat it to 375, right? Yes, I think that's correct, yes. No, 400, I'm going to 400. Sorry. I'm new to this.
If this was a regular oven, you would be just fine.
Yeah, if it was a regular oven, I'd be fine.
You're good, yes.
So I don't know if you can see the air fryer back here on my counter.
I do.
If you've never had one, the temperature is on top and the time dial is in the front.
Okay.
And then it just has a little basket.
Right.
It has a wire tray in there. So they tell you to spray the basket. So I'm going to spray the basket. And then I'm going to put my fish fillet down in the basket. You can't stack things, so you have to do this separately. So I'm going to lay them down in there. And then I'm going to spray the top of my fish with my cooking spray. Okay, that'll just give him a little crust. Let me put him in the air fryer.
Okay, I'm just watching because I want to see how this turns out. I might try this.
It says 6 to 10 minutes. I'll do 10 minutes, and I found that you can pull out and peek at things.
Yep, you can. It can.
Okay. So let me do 10 minutes. Okay, we'll let that cook. Okay. So let me.
I started becoming a fan of the air fryer when you can make bacon in there without making a mess.
Have you ever done baked potatoes, Bonnie?
No, because for me, they don't save that much time.
Oh, okay.
And so, and plus I don't make baked potatoes that often, but
okay.
I mean, you can do everything. I make bratwursts in there for my grandson regularly because
earlier. Oh, go ahead.
No, he loves bratwursts, and you can make them in like 9 minutes and they're actually browned and perfect, just like off the grill. So
have you done a hot dog?
Hot dogs, perfect. Yes, hot dogs come off just like off the grill. I've done pork chops in there. Any meat things I've done in there, like steak, all that stuff comes out just perfectly.
Now, it's nice if you're just doing one at a time, right?
Right. Well, I'm usually either me or my grandson and I, and we can quickly make dinner.
See, I'm used to making a bunch of stuff, so I need to start downsizing my cooking. So this might be a good idea for me. We'll see.
True.
The other thing I did this weekend, I sort of experimented with some things, and my husband was like, I need some potato chips. It's like, well, I'm not going out and get them.
Oh.
So I thought, okay, my niece loves to make potato chips in hers. So I made some potato chips. I don't know if you can see them or not. They turned out just perfect.
Wow. So you just sliced up some potatoes and threw them in there, huh?
Well, I sliced up my potatoes really thin because, I've got that mandolin, but you could slice it up as thin as you can get them. And then I put them in cold water and let them soak.
Okay.
For 10 minutes or so. I dumped the water off. I took the potatoes out and I took a paper towel and dabbed them dry. That takes some of the starch out of the potato, so it'll end up a little crisper. And then I took some avocado oil. Now you can use any oil, canola oil, vegetable oil, whatever you want to use, olive oil. But I took avocado oil and put over top of the potatoes in a little bowl and a little salt and pepper, and I just put that all together.
Mm-hmm.
And then I dropped that down into my air fryer, and for 20 minutes, it was 375, and they come out looking just like this.
Wow. I've not tried potato chips yet, so that's something new I can try too. I seriously love my air fryer.
Now, the potato chips, you can't do any more than a single layer. And of course, that basket's only about that big. So I could only put like 6 potato slices at a time. So it takes a while, but like for a side, one air fryer, I've got a side of potato chips.
Well, that's fun. I didn't know that. I've not tried that, so that's new. Okay,
while that's cooking, let's make our slaw. That I'm not going to put in the air fryer. I've got a bag of just slaw mix I bought at the store.
Right.
You can just get it all mixed up. So I've done that. Okay, to this we're going to put a dressing. I'm going to put a third of a cup of sour cream. And then to that, I'm going to put a fourth of a cup of mayonnaise, just regular mayonnaise.
Not Miracle Whip.
Not today, it isn't.
Not Miracle Whip.
He will never know the difference.
He won't know. We won't tell him.
And into this, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of lime juice. And I got to get a knife. That's sort of the liquid, is the lime juice. So let me get lime juice. So it's 1 tablespoon of lime juice, which is usually about 1 lime. Let's see what it does. And I like to use fresh lime juice. It just tastes better.
Well, everything fresh always does.
I can smell that fish, Bonnie.
Can you? Good. I'm anxious to see what it looks like.
Okay, I'm going to do 1 tablespoon of lime juice. And then to that, I'm going to add 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. So a little bit of salt. And I think salt brings a little flavor of the cabbage out. So
I mean, I feel like you have to have coleslaw with fish. I mean, you just have to.
And then the other thing is chipotle chili powder. That gives it a little kick. Now, if you don't have the chipotle chili powder, you could just use regular chili powder.
Okay.
You could do any spice in there that you want. That just gives it a little kick. I'm going to look at my fish because I can smell it.
Okay.
Woo! It's browning up pretty.
I think people don't realize that it does really brown up everything you cook. I mean, it's just like frying it, but with no oil.
Yeah. My husband said earlier, he said, well, why don't you just do it in the microwave? I said, because the microwave doesn't brown and crisp things up like this air fryer does. Okay, I've got that all mixed together. I'm just going to pour that over my coleslaw. Now, it called for 3 cups of coleslaw, but I noticed the package this morning was only a 2-cup package, or yeah, 2. Well, it's supposed to do 3 cups, and this is 2 cups, but whatever. Looks like more than.
It'll just be nice and mushy and good.
It will. So I'm just going to mix that up. Matter of fact, I'm going to get tongs and mix that up. And what that'll do is we'll put that on our po' boy.
Oh, you're killing me here.
Boy, that fish smells so good.
This should have been the week I came to your house and recorded with you.
I think you say that every week.
I'm going to try that. One of these days, I'm just going to come to your house and we'll record right from there.
You can just ring my doorbell and shock me. Okay, I think the coleslaw's ready, so let's see what our fish is doing. Man, that's gorgeous.
You got plenty of coleslaw.
I do. So let me see how much longer. We have just a few minutes, so let me get the sandwich ready to go. I bought a hoagie bun. I sort of thought I might toast it in the air fryer. Have you ever done that, Bonnie?
No, I haven't. Actually, I have not done that. Does it say how long you would toast it?
See, that's what I'm not sure about. They showed it, but I didn't see any instructions, so I'd have to play with that a little.
There's so many recipes on Pinterest for air fryers that it's a good way to start.
It looked like maybe they sprayed a little oil, maybe cooking spray on top and bottom, and put it in flat and let it toast just a little bit. But we won't do that today just because of time. Right. So let me go ahead and dress my hoagie bun.
Dress it up.
Dress it up. So I'm going to dress it with some coleslaw.
Wow.
Yum.
Yum already.
Okay. And then it called for some cheese. And this is a Mexican cheese. Do you know how to pronounce that? It's Queso. Fresco?
Queso? Is it like queso from Mexican, the queso you get melted?
Evidently, yeah. I tasted it. It's the first time I've used it. I tasted it. It was a little salty and tastes a lot like a mozzarella.
Oh, okay.
It's a little different.
Sounds good.
I crumbled up some, so let me sprinkle on a couple tablespoons.
Now, did you just get that at Kroger's?
Yep. I bought it in where the Mexican food is, in the refrigerator section. It's refrigerated. Okay, my fish should be about done. Let me get it out here. Ding! Okay, oh my goodness. Let me see if it flakes. They said it needs to flake. Oh, that's perfect. I think that's going to be perfect. So here's my fish. I hope you can see that in there.
Ooh, that looks yummy.
So let me try and get it out without it falling apart. I don't think it's going to put it in pieces. There's one piece.
Oh, look at it steaming. It's good and hot.
There's the other piece. Look at that.
Yum.
A little bit more in there. So I'm going to shove him right there.
That is a huge sandwich.
Okay, isn't that yummy?
That's huge.
I'm going to need a bigger knife.
You're going to need something.
We get a bigger knife. Okay, here we go.
I totally believe that would have been enough for me too.
There it is. Let me bring her apart.
Oh, look at that. Oh, look at it steaming. That looks beautiful.
Let me taste the fish. Some of it fell off here.
Oh, it's going to be hot.
It's warm. Oh, is that wonderful? And Bonnie, I think that fish cooked just perfect.
It looks like it did. It looks flaky. It looks beautiful.
So if you don't have an air fryer, you can do the same thing in the oven. Do exactly what I've done, except stick it in the oven. And I would probably leave it in the oven. Fish don't take very long. So I check it in 10, 15 minutes to see if it was done. Now, it's according to your thickness of your fish.
So what fish did you use?
I used a cod.
Okay.
It was just a frozen fish. I don't know if you can see that or not. A frozen
cod, yes.
I got it in the freezer section, and you want to make sure it's thawed before you do this.
I mean, why did you pick cod? Is that just something you like, or is it just a nice, like?
I think it's the texture of cod holds together a little better.
Okay.
It was one of them that they suggested on the recipe was cod. Okay. They also suggested, what was some of the other fish they suggested? Any kind of white fish, so you could do a flounder or a tilapia.
Okay, that's a good idea.
So you just want to make sure it's a ½ inch to an inch thick. Like I say, you don't want it real thick.
Okay, you got to take a bite with the coleslaw and everything together. I want to see how it all goes together. I'm living through you right now.
Oh.
Is it perfect? It looks perfect. It looks perfect.
I think, I'm not sure the last time I had a good fish sandwich like that out anywhere.
No, so you make it better at home.
I do. In the air fryer.
In the air fryer. Now I want to go make some.
So that's going to be lunch. And then my cookie.
Oh. Drink your water.
I do have my water. I have my water today.
That might call for some wine. I'm not sure if you're having it for dinner.
I think maybe a good beer might be good too. Little apple juice or apple cider maybe.
Oh yeah.
This is really good. I think if I toast the bun, it would have that little bit of crunch too. So I think I will try that the other one.
Okay. Well, it looks amazing.
And your potato chips?
And you have potato chips. You have a whole air fryer meal.
I do. I do. So the only thing I've got to tell people out there is don't be afraid to try something. Now, it may not be for you, or you may learn to love it, just like you have, Bonnie. So don't be afraid to try the air fryer. I know they're a little expensive, but they are quick, maybe a little quicker and easier.
I like to clean up is much easier. I like having not much cleanup. Throw it in the dishwasher and you're good. So that's my favorite part of it. Not, I mean, not only the cooking part, but cleanup is a breeze. So,
and you can get a whole meal.
And a whole meal and a beautiful, wonderful meal. I'm super hungry right now just looking at it.
Oh, it's really good. Next week, we're going to go back to pumpkin again because this is sort of pumpkin month. So we're going to do breakfast.
It'll be Halloween too.
Yeah, we're going to do pumpkin pancakes.
Ooh.
And I did a pumpkin oats the other morning. Oh my goodness, were they good.
Okay, those all sound good for Halloween.
And then we're going to do some things for breakfast. It's just going to be a little breakfast meal.
Well, I love breakfast, so that'll be a good thing.
So it'll be sort of like brunch next week.
I love cooking with you every week. It's super fun.
Good, good. Nice to be here.
Yeah, it's nice to see you every week, and I'm glad everybody else gets to see you every week too.
Yeah, yeah. And I enjoy the food every week. I was thinking of that this morning. You know, I get to eat.
Yeah. You're doing good on the food.
I do. It's really good. Anything I want, I fix me, and there it is.
Yeah, it's great. Well, thanks for being with us. Pumpkin next week. Don't forget the people to vote is a big thing. Vote for our senior levy. That's one thing we have to always support. And I just wanted to throw that out there. We still have a couple weeks, but everybody.
And with the senior levy passing, and it is a renewal, that keeps all the seniors healthy, independent, and productive because you guys do so much for all of us seniors.
Thank you. And we want to keep everybody hip. So
keep them hip.
Good to see you. And we'll see you next week.
Okay. Bye-bye. I'm going to eat my sandwich.
Go eat your fish. Bye.